I'm so excited that you guys have joined me today. This is Angela Brown, and I am here with Debra LeBlanc. And she is a certified hypnotherapist, and she's an entrepreneur and a professional motivational speaker, travels all over the world. Now, one of the things that I'm really excited to share with you today is that Debra has a really interesting personal story that she's willing to share with us today, based on the fact that she's not just talking, she's sharing with us her personal experience. And I'm really excited that she could share this with us today because we've had a lot of stories over the last several months come in that echo some of the stuff that Deborah's going to share with us today. So please help me welcome Debra LeBlanc.
Thank you, Angela.
How are you today?
I'm doing great, thank you.
I wanted to ask if you would share with us a little bit about your story and how you got an interest in all of the things that you do today to help other people. Because I know yours is a background with a lot of sadness and a lot of trauma. I know that you lost two daughters, a 3-year-old granddaughter, a brother, and your father, all within a 5-year window.
Yeah,
That is a lot of hurt.
it is. It was at the time. I thought the world couldn't possibly keep moving, keep rotating around the sun. It didn't make sense to me how life could possibly move on with that much loss. I was lost. I would go from point A intending to go to B, and halfway in my travel, forget where I was supposed to be going. Didn't have a clue as to where I was going. I was really lost,
And
really
that
lost.
sounds like post-traumatic stress disorder when you're
Mm.
unable to remember where you're going and you're just going through the motions. Can you share with us how we got to this point? Like what happened? You then found yourself in this situation.
Well, yeah, I spent a year lost. That's the only sure way to put it is lost. I had lost my identity. My children, I had 3 daughters. I have 1 remaining, my oldest daughter, thank God. But the 2 that I lost, I'd spent so much time with, there were challenges with them because of my ex, who was not a father figure at all. They were always in relationships with terrible men. So I was always chasing a drama or trauma or crisis. So when they passed away, I was completely lost. It's like I had lost my identity. My youngest daughter had my granddaughter that passed away, and I was very close to that child. She spent the first year with my now husband. She spent the first year with us, and she was so dear to us. She had her own challenges as an infant. And there were times when I guess it was intuition. I really don't know what else to call it. There were times when 3 o'clock in the morning, I was rocking her, feeding her bottle, and I would just start sobbing from nothing in particular. I would always study her little hands, which were always wrapped around my finger,
Mm.
and just start sobbing. And it didn't strike me till after she passed away that it must have been some sense I had that she wouldn't be with us for very long. It was all traumatic. My granddaughter, my daughter found Amelia in her crib. It was not SIDS, it's another acronym for children between the ages of 3 and 5 years old. They just quit breathing.
Oh my goodness.
And she found her and called me on the phone, and I couldn't even understand what she was saying. She was hysterical, but I heard her say Amelia. They lived about maybe 7 miles, 10 miles away from me. I jumped in my car and took off. And when I got there, I ran inside and she's on the telephone and I see Amelia laying on a pillow on a living room rug and she's still. Nothing's moving, and my heart just collapsed. I felt just like it fell to my feet. I ran over to her, and I saw she was already blue around the mouth, and my daughter is screaming and crying and screaming, and I said, "Did you call 911?" And she said, "Twice." I said, "How long ago?" She said, "A half an hour." Call again," and I scooped up Amelia and started breathing into her mouth and doing finger compressions on her heart. And I think the cruelest joke the universe plays on is her little chest would rise every time I would blow into her mouth and then fall and rise and fall. But the moment I stopped, she stopped. And there's this little flutter of hope that rises up in you when you're blowing into their mouth and you see the chest move and you're going, it's just a shock to your system. Of course, She was pronounced dead immediately, and they took her away. 4 months later, my youngest daughter, I was actually heading to the airport for an event that I was scheduled to do. I got a phone call that my youngest daughter had been involved in a fiery car crash, and she
Oh,
was dead. I couldn't
and
even.
this was Amelia's mother?
Yes. Yeah, it was 4 months after
Oh,
Amelia passed away, and I couldn't even see her. I have a best friend who is a funeral director. She lives in upstate New York, and she flew down to take care of the funeral for me. And she went into the embalming room and she just told me, "Don't go in there." And I trusted her implicitly. So I never got to really say goodbye. And then a year later, my middle daughter, she coded in the emergency room. Her
had she been
pancreas
ill?
was an alcoholic in recovery, and
Okay.
her sponsor committed suicide.
Oh,
And
I'm so
when that
sorry.
when that happened, she just bottomed out. My oldest daughter and I saw the signs, and we tried to put our arms around her, just kind of pull her in. But she was closet drinking. She'd go to the restroom and she had bottles hidden under the vanity and she passed out. My oldest daughter called me and she said, "We're going to the emergency room. Meet us there." I went in there. She was on a ventilator, and I saw her for about 5 minutes. She was swelling up twice her size. Her body was retaining all that fluid. Her kidneys had shut down. Everything was just starting to shut down, one thing after the other. And I was sitting in the waiting area for the next visiting hours, and I heard them call code blue and her room number. And I just froze. I saw these doctors running in there, and I could hear all the noise going on in the room and just praying, my fingers crossed, and whatever I had to do, it doesn't matter whether they believe in God, Buddha, or Captain Crunch. I was praying to whoever was listening. And
Mhm.
you can't possibly take another daughter from me. Well, it happened. The doctors came out after the second attempt and said, "We've tried twice. We can't sustain her vitals. We can't hold them. We can't normalize her. What do you want us to do?" And I just looked at this doctor and I said, "Please try one more time, once more. And if we can't bring her back, then we let her go." And they did. They tried once more and she didn't hold. She held for 2 beats and then stopped. So we said goodbye and she was gone. My brother died a year after that of lung cancer, and my
Mm.
dad of old age. He was 95. But it was too much tumbling and grief. I was trying to be as brave as I could for my oldest daughter, but by the time my second daughter passed away, I was just a zombie. I didn't eat. My sleep was mixed with nightmares. Sometimes I didn't know. I felt like I was dreaming when I was awake. And I felt like my dreams were reality, if that makes sense. I would have the most morbid dreams, so much so that I didn't want to close my eyes. I was afraid to. And I would have dreams Amelia had fallen out of her casket and her mother was in another room and we had to hurry up and pick up the baby and put her back in the casket and fix the lining of it before her mother got back. And it was a bunch of rushing and it was always fumbling, fumbling. I could never get the lining in the casket right. And it was dreams like that.
And it sounds like from those dreams, though, that there was a part of your unconscious mind that was still trying to fix things.
Yes,
Eh
always. And I owned a company at that time that had been operating for 23 years. We monitored underground fuel tanks around the US and Canada. It's a company I started and created myself. And after all of these people died in my life, I had stopped and I just put the brakes on in life. And I just said, "What are you doing with your life? Why are you still alive?" One, because a mother should never outlive her children. What do you, God, universe, whoever, what do you want from me? This can't be it. Just earning a paycheck, earning a living. Yes, I was employing 30 people, but was that it? Was that what life was all about? And I put the brakes on. I sold my company and I was floating around and I was actually at the computer one day trying to get my mind focused on something. I was Googling how much gravel would it take to cover a 1 mile driveway because I have a piece of property that's about 20 acres. And anyway, I'm Googling this. And instead of pulling up gravel, it pulls up HMI, which is Hypnosis Motivational Institute. It's the first accredited hypnotherapy university in the United States. And I went, "What? A hypnotist sells gravel?" So I clicked on the site. It was just curious because it was just kind of out there like this black marble in the middle of white marbles. So I clicked on it and I started looking through it, and my heart started beating faster and my attention became zeroed in on everything I clicked on that site. And the next day I signed up.
Is it not amazing how exactly what you need comes to you when you're receptive to it?
Yes,
And it
yes, it
seems like
was.
maybe you'd gone through enough pain that in that moment, maybe even at an unconscious level, you were looking for a solution. And while you thought you were looking for gravel, what you were really looking for, what you needed was the hypnotherapy.
I was needing a purpose. See, my purpose before were my daughters and my
Mhm.
granddaughter. I was always there for them. I was looking for a purpose in my life. If I was supposed to be alive when they died, there had to be a reason I'm here, more than just earning a check. I jumped into hypnotherapy, and Angela, I'll tell you, it was as if I'd done it before. I graduated at the top of my class with honors, the director's award. I went on to get my bachelor's in mind body psychology. I'm going for my doctorate right now. And it is my way of having purpose, helping other people. I understand those who come to me who are grieving, those who have anxiety and depression. I work with people with a myriad of issues from weight loss, smoking cessation, what most people consider this applies to hypnotherapy. But just to be able to touch someone and know where they're coming from is a big gift for me because it makes me feel like I have a purpose in life to extend my hand to someone who's hurting so bad that for them to feel somebody who truly understands where they're coming from is a gift to me. It's a gift for me.
Deborah, tell us, if you will, where our listeners can go to find you beyond just the hypnotherapy.
They can find me at mindpaththerapies.com. Go to the website and just click contact, and that will lead you right to my email address and my phone number.
Thank you so much for joining us today. This has been really enlightening. And I really appreciate your authenticity and you're willing to share with us your experiences and your story, because I know that there are a
My
lot of people
pleasure.
that are joining us have similar or some elements that there's pain and they don't know how to get through that. So your willingness to share with us is just a godsend. So thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.